A welcomed shock. Until now, teenage girls had been denied the right to education if they fell pregnant. Government now says the young mothers will be accepted back into the school environment during pregnancy and after delivery.
Pregnancy doesn't mean a closure to a child's education program. We allow them to come back to school and continue, and only stop when they need to go and deliver the child, and afterwards come back and continue. We also, for those who are not comfortable with that, we have the non-formal education program as a route, another route to accessing education. So they are well catered for. We also have support through our guidance and counseling structures where they are given psychosocial support to accept that they are no longer the children we knew. They now have a new role of mother-to-be.
Advocates for the girl child say it's about time Zimbabwe approves and implements progressive policies. The country is battling to curb child marriages and teen pregnancies. Earlier this year, government revealed that over 1,700 child marriages were registered and more than 5,000 pregnancies reported between January and March alone. Activists are calling for proper implementation of supporting mechanisms and programs.
While this is in place, there are a number of issues that we need to highlight in terms of the practicality of it. There's stigma, for example. Fellow students or fellow learners are usually going to be laughing at that person. That's discouraging for the child to come back into school. Some teachers also are not as progressive yet, but also the school system must have, resources in place or structures in place to support the child to be back to school.
Another concern is how the girls will catch up with the curriculum. Mashaya Mombe says with COVID-19 related closures, there hasn't been enough schooling time to properly assess learners.
The children have entirely lost a learning year. And so for the government to then set examinations for O levels and A level, it does not make sense to the children who were excluded. For those children who could afford extra lessons, their parents could afford extra lessons, they continued. But for those who didn't have extra lessons, it does not make sense for us to pretend. It's a pretense that children actually went to school when they didn't.
Government has defended its decision.
Learning has been going on through other means, because I think what we have learned as a country is that school is not the physical wall. Education is not limited to walking into a classroom. It is the interaction between a learner and material that is going to make them get the knowledge, the competences, the skills they want. So in terms of real loss of time, it would be very difficult to say even that 2/3 of a term has been lost. And the long and the short of it, we have consulted our system, especially the heads of schools who run our shop floor level, and they have convinced us that given all the efforts we have done as a country and this session where we have gone back and trying to look at correct timing, it is possible to run exams starting in 2021.
The Zimbabwean government closed schools in March this year as the country entered a deadly third wave of COVID-19 infections. Schools have been shut for a combined total of 12 months since the start of the pandemic. In a bid to catch up the academic year, government has now announced an extended school term. Namapolani, SABC News.